Hey guys, welcome to the softball captains meeting. We want to first thank you guys for stepping up and being leaders and putting a team together. We understand the difficulties that go with that, so we want to just thank you guys for doing that and playing softball. So thank you guys. First of all, we're just going to get going right into the meeting, talking about how many players you can have. You can have 10 players on the field at max for a men's league. And a minimum of 8 players on the field to start a contest and to finish with 8. For women's league, it's the same, except for it's got to be women. And for the co-rec league, it's the same as well. You can have 10 and for a max, and then a minimum of 8 to start and finish a game. Okay. We'll talk a little bit more about co-rec later on. Any team not having the minimum number of players on the field at the start of the contest will result in forfeiting the game. Men cannot sub on a women's team, and women cannot sub on a men's team unless it's approved by the other team. If it is approved, you can't protest that game. Okay, so make sure that you really talk about that, and or we will be clear about that during the contest. Forfeit time. Any team not having a minimum of the number of players at the scheduled time, which would be 8, at the start of the game time, will be charged. After 2 minutes, 1 run. So every 2 minutes that you're late, you will get a run against you. Okay. 2 unexcused forfeits will result in being dropped from postseason tournament, and forfeit time is 10 minutes after the start time. So general rules: you can't have metal cleats are not allowed. No player would be allowed to play in bare feet either. So make sure you have the appropriate footwear. No equipment or uniforms which might cause injuries to another individual shall be allowed. No uniform which is obscene or abusive shall be allowed. All glasses, you can have sunglasses, just make sure they're attached and firmly on your head. All players are urged to wear a cap just because it gets sunny out, and it just helps with the safety of the game. To determine who the home team is, we'll play paper, rock, scissors to determine that. All games are of slow pitch variety. Every pitch must have at least an arc of 3 feet from the point of the release. So if you release it from the ground, it's got to go 3 feet from the ground. If you release it at your hip, it's got to go 3 feet from your hip. So, and it's got to be at a minimum, or it can't go over 10 feet. So 3 feet from the release, 10 feet max on the arc. So that is the minimum for reaching a strike zone. Okay. In the co-rec league, the batting order shall be alternating male and female. With 10 players, the number 1 batter may be either male or female, but it needs to alternate after that. Outfield and infield must have no more than 2 males. Pitcher and catcher must consist of 1 male and 1 female. A team may bat as many people as they want. In co-rec, a team may only bat 12, and a male and female must both be batted in alternating order. No bunting is allowed. If a batter shortens up on the bat with one or both hands and contacts the ball in a swinging motion, he or she shall be called out. A batter who swings at a pitch after it has touched the ground will be called out. This rule is just to prevent injuries. So if a catcher starts walking up because the ball hit the ground and somebody swings, it can be very dangerous. So that's why that rule's in there. A base runner may not score or advance on a wild pitch. There is no stealing or advancing after on the bases. So it's only one of the balls put in play with the bat. Overthrow rule: the runner is given the base they were attempting to take plus 1. So if you're overthrow at first and that person has turned to go to second base already, they are awarded second base plus third base. However, if they weren't going to second base, they just ran through the bag, they're just awarded second base. So each batter will start with a 1-1 count. So and you'll also get 1 courtesy foul. The way the courtesy foul works is after you get 2 strikes, you then have a courtesy foul. It doesn't mean the first time you have a foul ball, that's your courtesy. Your courtesy comes after you get your second strike. So if you're standing up there and you already have a 1-1 count, the next pitch is a strike, you get a foul ball after that. Okay, that would be your courtesy. A batter is automatically out after hitting a second foul ball after the second strike. The ball is dead and the runner may not advance. A pitch which hits a batter shall be immediately dead. There's no base awarded or anything like that. The pitcher has around 5 seconds to pitch the ball after receiving it from the catcher. That's just to help hurry with the speed of the game and not having any delays or anything like that. An intentional pass may be executed by informing the umpire of the intentional pass. You can only do that one per game. You can't, if you walk a male in co-ed, the female has the choice to either take first base or bat. However, if they choose to bat, the guy who walked automatically gets second base. The infield fly rule will be enforced. An infield fly is a fair ball which can be easily and readily caught when first and second or first, second, third bases are occupied and there are less than 2 outs. It's a 300-foot fence that we're using. There is a 1 home run limit per inning per team. All balls that are hit over the fence after the first home run will be considered an out. Any ball that is hit over the fence in the air will be an automatic home run. The batter is recommended to touch only first base. All the other runners must continue to run the bases all the way through. If a ball is touched after hit and goes under the fence or bounces over the fence and goes out of play, you get the 1+1 rule is used, letting the runners get to the base they were pursuing +1 more. If the hit ball is untouched and goes under or bounces over the fence, it is a ground rule double. So that's the difference there, whether the ball was either touched or if it wasn't touched. So if it was touched, then you get the 1+1 rule. But if it wasn't touched, then it's just a ground rule double. A pinch runner can only be used in case of an injury, and a runner must be the last out recorded. Crash rule, this is very important. The crash rule will be in effect. This means that the runner must be called out if he remains on his or her feet, and crashes into a defensive player holding the ball and waiting to apply the tag. In order to prevent a crash, the runner must slide, jump over the defender holding the ball, or jump over the defender holding the ball, or go around the defender if they remain within the 3-foot line, or also return to the previous base. If the act is determined to be flagrant, the offender will be ejected. Teams not fielding a full team in a single gender may bat short of 10 players without taking an out. Co-rec teams must bat the same amount of male and female batters or take an out to separate the like gender. So if you have a guy batting back to back, then it is an out in between there to account for the girl that's missing. Okay, and vice versa. If you have girl, you have to take an out in between there to get the out where the guy's supposed to be. Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions, that's the end of the rules right now, except for timeouts. We'll talk about that in extra innings. A game shall be based on innings and a time limit. A game shall be completed in 7 innings or 60 minutes. An extra innings in case of ties at the end of regulation play, which is either 7 innings or 60 minutes. 1 out innings with a runner. You'll begin the inning with 1 out, and the runner, which would be the last out of the inning before, will be placed on second base, and the game will be played until the tie is broken. Okay. Scoring: if either team is leading by 25 runs after 3 innings, 20 runs after 4 innings, or 15 runs after 5 innings, the game is over. Okay. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, or anything else, please come and talk to us. We want to make this as fun of an experience as we can. And again, we just want to thank you guys for stepping up and being the leaders and putting a team together. And just go out and have fun and be respectful. It's softball. The strike zone will be open. It'll be a big strike zone. We want you to swing and have fun. So put the ball in play, run the bases, and have fun. So again, thank you so much, and hope you guys have a great day.